What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel where you follow me on my journey back into reading after several years away from the hobby. So, you know what I read in July. If you're following the Instagram, which you should be, link in the description, or you checked out my July TBR, which there should be a link up there, then you'll know what I was planning on reading in July. I basically mostly hit that mark. I did switch it up slightly to accommodate one of my awesome subscribers, and also I had a little bit of a need for more space opera after reading Shards of Earth, so I had to switch things up. I didn't end up going into Red Rising. I don't know why. I mean, it's sci-fi and everything too, but there, for some reason, the last watch, I felt I have to read this. It seemed to be like it was gonna scratch the itch that I needed to scratch, I guess. And I am so freaking glad that I picked this book up. I'm gonna have a whole separate review on that. Yeah, wow. So I'm super, super happy with that. I think I might even like it more than Shards of Earth, which I liked quite a bit. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. I'll update you with, how I felt about that and any other books that I feel. There's gonna be other reviews coming down the pipeline as well, but for right now, I just wanted to give an update. And as you can see by the thumbnail, if you clicked on this, I picked up some books in July. So yes, we have Bloody Rose. Now, I really want to read Kings of the Wild. I did read a little bit of it and Nicholas Ames's writing style and just the whole overall concept for this projected trilogy seems really, really cool. And just the artwork and everything else, it needed to sit on the shelf. It looked like it needed to be there. It needed that home. So I started off the month with that, and then Book of Night by Holly Black picked up after that. So I was really, really looking forward to this. I've heard really good things throughout BookTube, and just, yeah, got me super pumped to want to check this book out. After that, I believe what I picked up next was The Bladed Faith. Now, this book, I'm not gonna lie, this was absolutely, totally just picked off of the cover. Some of my favorite metal albums I've ever gotten into and rock albums and things like that it was a cover choice. I was out and the cover looked awesome. I didn't even actually know about the band, but I figured if the cover looked that cool, then it's gotta be probably pretty good because they care enough about it to have that cool artwork. Didn't always work out, unfortunately. This time I think it's going to. I've checked out reviews of this and from people with, I would say, similar tastes or, taste-aligned people with myself, and I think it's gonna be something I'm really looking forward to reading as I get back into my fantasy swing of my pendulum, because I pushed it a little further in the sci-fi direction because I was just really feeling it. Maybe it was because it was Sci-Fi July. I didn't even really realize that until like the end of the month. But whatever, anyway, so that was next. Then after that, wait a second. What's up, people? Welcome to my TV program. Author of the, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Brian Lee Durfee, I had to pick up his books. Every single video, great salesperson, I will say. Reminds you every time, and I love his videos. I comment on them all the time and just enjoy really watching them, and just the community around Brian Lee Durfee's, the BLD's YouTube stuff. Amazing graphic artist and everything else. So by the way, if you don't know this guy, I'm gonna leave a link to him as well in the description. Check him out. So these are, woo, thick looking books. Thick looking books, but that's okay because I think he's gonna knock it out of the park with these. I am really looking forward to checking these out and just watching these videos every time, him shouting them out. I figured, what am I doing with my life? I've got to pick these up. So yes, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart. Simon Schuster, Saga Press. You know the deal if you watch the channel. All right, and I guess last up for my book haul is the Broken Earth trilogy. That's what it's called, right? I knew that. The Broken Earth trilogy. So I picked up the first book once I figured out what this was actually about. I'm just like, okay, this might be more than just trying out the first book. I watch an interview with the author. I'm like, okay, yeah, this has to be done. So I went out on a limb on this one, but from the combination of the cool stuff like the second person perspective, I know that puts a lot of people off. I just like weird stuff. So having that in part of the book, at least in the first one, not sure if that's carried on or not. But anyway, I know for sure it's in the first one. Having that in there and the geological the geological element to this in like a fantasy universe, just everything else about it seems so interesting and intriguing. So I figured I'm going to have to check this out. So now we are on to the second part of the video. One finger, but this is the second part of the video. So what is my actual TBR for August now? So finishing school on August 19th, and then I am away camping for a week where it's not going to be very easy to read any books from the 20th to the 27th. So that will put a damper on it a bit, but I do plan to get a few things done and probably audiobook while I'm away camping as well. Again, studying and everything is my final, so I'm gonna have a little less time this month than I did last month. In July, I had crushed like 6 books and 1 audiobook, so that was awesome. So what are we going to do for August? Well, we are going to, I'm literally, as soon as I'm done this video, I've got 20 pages left of The Last Watch. So absolutely this month, this is not going to be the order. I don't want to stick to the order, but these are my projected reads. Because the order sometimes, I think it was too limiting, and then I felt guilty switching it up, but I don't want to feel too bound to what I say in these videos. Like, I want to have a projection for what I want to read, but if I really have I pick a new book up and it seems awesome, I don't want to be like, no, I can't read that until like 2 years from now. I mean, my channel is nowhere near big enough to facilitate me having that kind of stress level on it. I'm just trying to have fun and do this as an awesome hobby and kind of share my thoughts about what cool books I'm getting into as I got back into reading. So we are going to definitely read The Exiled Fleet. That is number 2 in the Divide series. I know that there is a Divide fantasy series, but I am talking about the Divide. J.S. Dews is the author. And so yeah, The Last Watch was the first one, and The Exiled Fleet, I believe, is the second book in I think it's a projected trilogy, I think, but I'm not 100% on that one. But amazing. So that definitely, I want to read the second book. That's the only one I own. Other than the first one, obviously, that I'm reading right now in the series. Hunger of the Gods. Hunger of the Gods, that had to be displaced from July. So that is going to be read in August. I actually have it on Kindle. I'm going to audiobook it, and I'm going to read it, combine 3 of them so that no matter what, I get it done this month. And I'll read ahead and maybe Kindle read ahead while I'm camping, and then audiobook recap chapters, just because I'm going to be with my family, and you know how it is. You're sitting around the campfire, you're busy, sometimes you're distracted, maybe having a couple of beverages or whatnot. So, I like to kind of really reinforce it with a story like this. I don't want to lose any details, and sometimes something this good I know I'm going to do twice anyway, so I'm going to kind of do it as I go this time. Maybe I'm getting influenced by the time dilation sequences in The Last Watch, but whatever. Anyway, so we've got that. We've got The Exiled Fleet. We've got, I think, Red Rising after that. And then I don't think I'm going to get more than 4 books in, especially with the size of a couple of them. Not that big, but just with how busy I'm going to be this month. And I play in 2 bands as well. And, got a lot on the go, school-wise, everything else, to work coming up in the future, blah, blah, blah. So enough excuses, but I project 4, so I can be realistic here. And the other one, I would say I really want to start on the Broken Earth trilogy. That just seems so friggin' cool. So these 4 books are kind of what I project. This has been my book haul, which I couldn't really do at the beginning of July. I kind of had to do it at the end because those are the books I picked up through the month. I didn't go out and buy all the books at once. This is kind of like my collection over the month, my collect-a-haul, if you will. So anyway, thanks again for watching the video. Stop in here, hanging out with wacky old me. I'm just having so much fun making these videos, and I hope that the quality of these is improving with each one, and you can appreciate it. I really do work hard on these, and I don't want to throw crappy content out there just for no sake. The Song of Achilles review, I'm not ready for yet, because watching back to my last video, I kind of said at the time what I felt about it. It's a story that was great. Wasn't necessarily for me, but it was written so well that I loved it anyway. So maybe I want to reread it again or have some time away from it to reflect on it before I really put my thoughts into a review. Whereas, however, I have to say, The Last Watch, after reading that, all I want to do is gush and talk about it. And it's not that one book was extraordinarily better than the other. It's just at the right time, the right book connects with you a certain way. And yeah, so I've got reviews in the pipeline, but I really wanted to put something out so I can keep the trajectory keep the trajectory going and just keep the connection going. Keep pumping it out there so YouTube doesn't forget about me. Back to Reading is here to stay. I really love this channel. It's given me such a cool, awesome passion outside of the other things I do in my life, which are really like noisy and, rock and roll music and crazy, busy and everything else. And this is just where I get to talk about my other quiet time hobby after playing on stage and rocking out. I like to sit there, relax on the couch with a book and just enjoy myself, get taken away to these crazy worlds. And coming back into this after those years away, I'm so excited. I want to talk to people about it. And you're kind of stuck with me because everybody else has told me to shut up already. So thanks again. And until next time, let's get back to reading.